Good evening, I'm Yodit Tewolde, and this is Making the Case. As we jumpstart the holiday weekend, we've got a rundown of breaking legal news to cover and other major developments in cases that were overshadowed by the unexpected release of Bill Cosby from prison after his conviction of sexual assault was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. In Washington, D.C., news that the Department of Justice is imposing a moratorium on the death penalty, and its Civil Rights Division is investigating a Mississippi corrections officer for an assault on a man incarcerated at Parchman Farm Prison. In New York, the Manhattan DA has announced an indictment against the Trump Organization and one of its key officers. And a woman who assaulted a black teenager after accusing him of stealing her cell phone is facing hate crime charges. I've got my legal experts here to help break down the legalese, criminal defense attorney Mark O'Mara and BNC's legal contributor and veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson. As always, glad to have you both on tonight.
It's good to be here.
Pleasure to be.
Okay, Paul, let's start with Merrick Garland announcing a federal moratorium on the death penalty. Now, we've talked about this before. One of the major issues about capital punishment are the racial disparities in its application. President Biden campaigned against death penalty, so why just a moratorium? Should there be more done here?
Well, I think more needs to be done, but there's so much pressure for him to just take an action, right? It's been several months. There have been several big cases, including the whole George Floyd, Derek Chauvin case, that there has been a growing amount of pressure to address death penalty, especially because just on this show, we were talking about death penalty just a few weeks ago that took place, and there have been expressed concerns from the administration about what they intended to do. And so this step is a necessary step. Certainly more can be done, but I'm happy to see this, and I'm particularly happy to see it one, come out of the Department of Justice, which has been decimated by the last administration, and then two, to see it come out now in the context of Biden specifically articulating race disparities as one of the reasons to reevaluate what is going on with death penalties. Because up until now, this has been one of the back doors that states have used, because states that have restricted death penalty have had an open field with death penalty results when they've had federal charges. So the fact that it's coming out of the DOJ means something as well, and I'm excited for this step.
Mark, after 17 years without one federal execution, Trump executed 13 people during his term, many of them in the last days of his presidency. Now, we know how often the system gets this wrong, right? I mean, we cover a wrongful conviction case almost every other day. Now, the DOJ understands this. Evidence shows capital punishment has no impact on public safety. So I'm going to ask you sort of the same question. Why not just an all-out ban?
Well, I think this is the perfect, correct first step. We had a prosecutor down here in Central Florida in Orlando who decided when she got in office that she was going to literally ban and stop death penalties, but she did it in a way that actually opened her up to criticism and critique because it was an overall ban. I think the moratorium and having the Attorney General look at it and look into whether or not there are, in fact, biases, undeniable biases in the criminal justice system, I think that's the perfect answer, because here's what's going to happen. He is going to find that the death penalty, both at the federal level and certainly at all state levels, is imposed in a racially disparate way. We know that because we know all the studies that support it. There's nothing in favor of the death penalty. It doesn't work. It doesn't do the one job that punishment is supposed to do, which is deter somebody else from committing a crime similar. It doesn't work because all the studies support that. So I like this idea. It's a first step. I want an intense DOJ investigation, because what it's going to show is what we in the business all know, and that is that it doesn't work and it's racially disparate. So let's do away. It's simple. We do not need to be a society that voluntarily kills people. Florida, for example, it is you get a life sentence. It's a true life sentence. We still maintain the fact that we don't become a society that kills people.
Paul, staying with news from the DOJ, the Civil Rights Division has indicted a prison guard, Melvin Hilson, for assaulting a man at Parchman Prison in 2016 and then covering it up by filing a false report. Now, we don't usually see this happen often or at all. So do you think these charges represent a new era at the DOJ Civil Rights Division under Kristen Clark?
I'm certainly hoping so, because this is nothing new. This is not the first law enforcement agency that we've seen backtrack and present a fake report to hide their past transgressions. We saw that in the Ronald Green case that we were talking about in Louisiana. I think the prison overlay is something unique and special, mostly because most prisons are governed by state actors and state agencies and federal agencies. So it's hard to reach those agencies at a local level. I'm hoping that this is a first step that opens the door to more reviews and evaluations of exactly this kind of behavior. One, because it specifically talks about and deals with reforms that need to take place. But secondly, and this is just as importantly, it opens the door to accountability for law enforcement agencies in new ways, in that we are reviewing and looking at what happens when law enforcement goes out of their way to hide and or lie about what happened in the past. I think this is really important. And just as we have accountability for civilians for false police reports and perjury, now that we have body-worn cameras, now that we have these admissions, now that we have evidence that comes out that confirms that there have been bad actors in law enforcement area and in law enforcement arenas, what happens to those folks that filed false police reports? What happens to the folks that certified those false narratives and put them out to the public that we are now uncovering? And I believe once we know about it, we have the opportunity to hold them accountable as well, to try and stop some of that bad behavior. And so I think this is a first step. I'm excited it's coming out of the Department of Justice, and I'm looking forward to what this Department of Justice does under this administration to hold law enforcement accountable at the same levels that they've held other people accountable, specifically to deal with race disparities in policing and law enforcement, especially what happens in our prisons and jails, because I think that's really important too, and something that we don't often discuss because we don't have the same body-worn cameras and information that we generally have in the public for a lot of other cases. So I'm excited about this step, and I think it's meaningful.
Mark, Parchment Farm has a notorious history of violence from back when it was a slave plantation. Now, after 9 people were killed, either by homicide or suicide, in the span of a couple of weeks in early 2020, the DOJ announced a wider investigation into conditions of the Mississippi prison system. Look, we know what goes on in our jails and prisons, right? Shouldn't this be the case for prison systems across the country? I mean, why wait for something tragic and criminal to happen?
Well, we shouldn't. And Paul sort of hit it right on the head. We are finally now looking at and making a determination that we're going to hold our law enforcement officers responsible to a level that they have not been held responsible before. We're doing it on the street. We're doing it because of body cameras. We're doing it because of George Floyd and many others that we have now seen in the past 8 or 10 years. But I will tell you that it has been much better hidden. And it is a sort of a situation where we have stopped or not even looked at prisons and jails and the way they abuse inmates. I have dealt with it. I represented a 20-year-old African-American young kid who, because of a mental health condition, was put in jail. He was beaten and tased 4 times in the crotch and then left to die in a restraint chair. And the officers who actually were prosecuted for minor crimes were given weekends in jail. That has got to stop. But what I see today is basically at least a 2 or 3 degree shift or change. And we're going to see it as the path continues, a much wider trajectory.
Now, last night we spoke to a writer from the Marshall Project about inmates dying of heat strokes due to the failure of not providing air conditioning to people in jails and prisons. Why can't we as a society, Paul, manage to provide the basic level of care to those incarcerated?
I think we can. We just choose not to. What I think the solution is, you know, obviously I run an agency that investigates issues with law enforcement and transgression, but it's absolutely possible. My agency investigates deaths that happen in custody and transgressions that occur in the jails. So I think it's possible. The fact that we're having these conversations opens the door to coming up with solutions to make sure that we can solve for things like that. The things that you just raised in terms of air conditioning and our locked and custodial facilities is absolutely possible, but it reflects our legislative intent and it reflects our economic intent, because there's a cost for those things. And as we choose, and they are choices, not to care for folks in custody in the same way that we should or could care for them, and be it in healthcare, be it in education, be it in reform projects, be it in substance and drug abuse. All of these things have costs associated with them, and we need to be having conversations right now to hold ourselves accountable for what's happening to folks in our own communities that are in custody. And I say our own communities because these are folks that don't just magically appear in jail and prison and stay there. The average person is in prison 4 to 6 years, and guess where they come? Right back into our community. And how they are treated while they are in custody is reflective of the kind of societies that we want in terms of when they come back, are they going to be able to hold jobs? Are they going to be kept safe when they are in custody? Are they going to be reformed? Those are questions that we all have to answer, that I'm happy that cases like this raise for us to have conversations like this, to know that communities are empowered to have say-so about what happens.
Well, we've got to take a quick break, but we've got more ground to cover with my panel of experts, so don't go too far. This is Making the Case. Welcome back. Still with me, criminal defense attorney Mark O'Mara and veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson. Now for news out of New York. This case got a lot of media attention and drew some comparisons with the Amy Cooper case. A 22-year-old white woman, Maya Ponsetto, assaulted a black teenager after she falsely accused him of stealing her cell phone. At the time, Ponsetto was arrested and charged with assault and various other crimes. Now, the Manhattan District Attorney has decided to up those charges to hate crimes. Mark, you and I know how rare it is for prosecutors to pursue hate crimes given how difficult they are to prove. So this makes me wonder what sort of evidence they've got that made them sort of up the ante here. So Ponsetto's attorney now, of course, called the recent charges absurd and an overreach. Was this a hate crime? Your thoughts?
Well, I think it was for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, her reaction as to the individual who she accused, wrongly, let's not forget, but accused, being the young black male right there with a phone, and just sort of the attitude. But more than just, I accuse you, it really was both her attitude that day, the anger that she had, the disrespect that she had for a situation where she was obviously very wrong. But I think the prosecutor, who was allowed to look at all of the circumstances, also looked at that, quite honestly, idiotic interview that she gave where, in an attempt to, I don't know, defend herself or justify her actions, she showed in her heart more hatred towards him and more sort of racial animus. And I think that's what got her charged with a hate crime. And again, we are in a new day and age where we are finally holding those responsible for what they do truly responsible for their actions. And I think it was the right charge to up this to a hate crime and let her explain herself and her actions to a jury under a hate crime charge.
Excellent point. Paul, your take.
Girl, first of all, here's what it was. It was her righteous indignation that was coupled with both aggressiveness and ignorance. That's why she got charged with that hate crime, and I think it's a good charge. One of the solutions that I think, and we have this actually here in San Francisco, is bias by proxy. There's a restriction with the police department for bias by proxy, and I think it's really important to have legislation and rules like that so that people can't use law enforcement as a tool and as a weapon against communities of color. And so bias by proxy is basically a restriction on law enforcement agencies to evaluate and to determine whether or not they are being used as a tool inappropriately by people making either false claims, ridiculous claims, or unjustified claims against disenfranchised communities. I think that's really important, and that would have saved probably this community and probably saved her possibly from other kinds of charges. But one, I think the charges against her are appropriate. And two, I want to see aggressive, intentional, and specific action by law enforcement agencies so that incidents like this don't get elevated and lead to race disparate outcomes from law enforcement showing up and being used as a tool, as we've seen in the past from people making ridiculous claims like this that, as I said before, are both ignorant and aggressive and reflect a righteous indignation that we don't need to see. And that's how you ended up on the other side of criminal charges that carry a severe sentence. I'm watching this with popcorn. I'm ready.
All right, so now to the really big news out of Manhattan. Against the Trump organization and against Allen Weisselberg. Mark, do you think it's only a matter of time before the former president gets indicted?
It really seems as though that's where this is heading. So here's what they did. They tried to get Weisselberg to cooperate, obviously, and he didn't. So I think what they did was gave him a slap on the nose and let him know this is real, this is serious, put these cuffs on, take off your nice tie, take off your belt because you're going into a holding facility. And I think what they let him know was if you do not want to cooperate with us, you're not on this side of the fence, you're going to be on that side of the fence. And again, I think what Cy Vance did, this is the first inning of a long ball game. They are going to convince, I think, Weisselberg that either he's going to prison for a while or he is going to cooperate. And there are more coming. The grand jury is in place until, I think, November or December. They're going to be meeting. There's a lot more information. And I think this was a move by the prosecutors to let them know they're serious. And I think the next few indictments are going to come with the names Trump on them, whether it's directly Mr. Trump or his children, or if they're going to start getting more of the Trump organization members, because don't forget, they have the luxury and they really want to make sure that they're a very strong case. Because here's the downside. No matter what, in the political environment that we're in today, it is going to be difficult to indict and convict, particularly a Trump, of anything, regardless of the evidence. So it's going to have to be that much stronger a case. They're going to take their time and I think do it right. We are not done. Talk about popcorn. This is going to be an extra innings game probably.
Oh yeah, my popcorn's going to be extra buttery. Paul, Trump's been able to go pretty much unscathed while those around him get caught up. Do you think his day is finally coming?
I do, and I think this is a sign that the noose is tightening. Obviously, this prosecution isn't directly at Trump specifically, but it's reflective. This is shots fired. It sends the message and makes it clear that even at a local level, that this past president is not untouchable, that this past president is still under investigation, and this past president is tied to illegal actions and wrongdoings that are becoming not just public, but are getting charged, and that the noose is tightening around those that are close to the president and that have run his corporations and his businesses. And to the degree they are willing to work with prosecutors to avoid charges, whatever they may be, are going to keep being reflected towards the president. I think that's really important. And we're going to see more charges in the future from this same grand jury as evidence comes out from the folks that are the specific targets from this corporation. And that is going to implicate the president and his family in the future. And so I think the significance isn't just in the charges that we're seeing this week, but in what those charges mean and what's going to come as a result of those charges for the people that are involved as the targets about Trump. And like I said, the people that are close to him, including his family members. And so I do think it's significant. And again, I've got even more popcorn. All of these stories have my bag of popcorn out. Now, listen, I know I'm at the winery and enjoying my weekend here, but these are the stories that I am paying attention to at Hoops that I will be watching over the next few weeks and months.
All right, guys. Criminal defense attorney Mark O'Mara and veteran prosecutor and legal contributor Paul Henderson, thank you so very much for sharing your expertise with us tonight as we head into the holiday weekend. One
more reason to be jealous about Paul. At the winery.
Come on down, join. Plenty of wine for everybody.
Have a great weekend,
Have
guys.
a great holiday.